Welcome back. Welcome back. This is the Welcome Back song. Just kidding. There is an actual Welcome Back song. It's called Welcome Back by Maze. Great song. It was in my top 100 most played songs of the year. Shout outs to Spotify Wrapped. Go check it out. 2020 Wrapped. We are not sponsored by Spotify. I just really like shouting them out because they're better than Apple Music in every way, shape, and form.
This has turned into Tunes for Two. We will not be talking about football, but in fact, we will be talking about music. So we're going to be going over Circles by Mac Miller.
Yeah, it's all right.
I love it. All right, moving forward.
No, it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
No, we actually have important breaking news. Colts lost. Oh.
Yeah. And Eagles lost.
A crowd favorite. Well, I mean, we knew Eagles would lose.
Yeah.
So.
They still
it's
lost.
Not exactly breaking.
Oh, frick. I play Brendan next week.
Oh, shit.
Well, that's a loss.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Let's open up what happened this past week. Because we actually now know. Wait, I played Trey? I thought I played Alicia. I was completely wrong. Anyway, sorry.
So, good news. I finally won. I was on a 3-game losing streak.
Right. You were, yeah.
That's big money moves for me.
Yeah, I guess we'll start with you then.
Oh, I'm still waiting for ads.
Well,
so,
I can get into it. You actually, you low-key destroyed her.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's Licia. If she would have played her bench, she would have destroyed me, but luckily she didn't put any of her bench in.
Right.
So that saved me a lot.
Her quarterbacks are between Cam Newton and Gardner Minshew.
I think the only reason, or one of the biggest flaws on Licia's team is her quarterback, in which you freaking did her dirty with trading Kyler Murray, or I mean trading Cam Newton for Kyler Murray.
At the time, both of their scores were at the same point.
Yeah, but you knew damn well Cam Newton wouldn't be able to keep that up.
I didn't know damn well.
Yeah, you did.
No,
yeah,
that is not true.
Yeah.
I figured he'd have a similar type year to like Lamar Jackson. Not as good as Lamar Jackson, like MVP level, but a similar just running the ball, getting a lot of points as quarterback sort of
really?
thing.
Oh.
I didn't see why not. I didn't see any other weapons on the team. I was like, this is a guy who's won MVP before. Why not? That's how I felt.
Yeah. I
felt like he was up there. Maybe not on Kyler Murray's MVP sort of. Well, I don't think he's had an MVP season, but like the way he started out was like looking like he could easily be MVP, right?
Yeah, I just didn't think he'll be able to keep it up. That's
the
all.
The only reason I traded it to her is because I don't like Cam Newton.
Yeah.
I picked him up knowing how high value he was, right? Just to use him in a trade.
Yeah.
Because no one else was noticing. It was like, well, if I just pick him up and then I can propose a trade and then people take notice and realize they missed out and now they want him from me.
Yeah,
so
that
I
makes
did that
sense.
with Alicia because they're on the same level and I literally just told her, I don't like Cam Newton, please.
Yeah.
And that's how it happened.
Okay. I believe you. All right, so my team didn't do that good. I mean, I got 131 points is the most in our league, but that's most points I've gotten in a while because I've been averaging like under 100. So it's a lot of points for me, but in the league it's not that much. But Russell Wilson is still on his low or like little rut that he's in. He only got me 14 points. I thought that Russell Wilson would blow up because he's playing against the Eagles, but the Eagles defense actually did pretty well. We'll get into that later. But Sanders is also in a rut. But my top guy, my main guy the past 3 weeks, Antonio Gibson, got me 36 points. He got like 115 yards rushing and 3 total touchdowns with 5 receptions and 26 receiving yards.
Washington really gave a beatdown to Dallas on Thanksgiving.
It was super close, too. It was just the fourth quarter. That
quarter just
blew up. They got like
rolled.
20 points in the fourth quarter alone.
Yeah.
But Antonio Gibson got me like 5 points, 17 points, and now 36 points. So he's looking very valuable. And I just picked him up off of waivers. No one was claiming him. And I was like, maybe I'll give this guy a shot. But then DK did what DK does. Got me 27 points. He got like 170 yards receiving.
Yeah. 10 catches, but no touchdowns. So he actually said post-game that was the Philadelphia defensive coordinator went up to him and was like, I was in Detroit when Megatron was there. You're not there yet. And so he had a chip on his shoulder the whole game and fucking made Slay look weak.
Yeah, I saw that coming. I think every Eagles fan saw that
Slay
coming.
also from Detroit.
Yeah.
Funny how that works. Okay.
Oh.
Kelsey also did good.
Yeah.
He's been having a pretty good couple of weeks.
Yeah, he's playing.
That's his first sub 20 fantasy point game since week 7.
So yeah.
But 16 is still good. 8 catches for 82 yards. Tyreek Hill was the main guy to go off that game though, so share the wealth. You could have put in Amari Cooper. He did really good on your bench.
Yeah, he got like a touchdown and a lot of catches. I think I'm going to start benching Travis Fulgham because it's his third straight game where he got under 4 points.
Oh my God, Robbie Anderson got his first touchdown since week 1.
I should have put him in.
Despite being really high up in receiving yards, this was his first game since week 1 where he got a touchdown.
And then Michael Thomas did below average. And then the Dolphins defense came in clutch, but it was kind of predictable because they were playing against the Jets. And Mason Crosby didn't do really well for me. But on Licia's side, again, like I said, if she would have put her bench in, then she would have won.
She had a lot of high shooters on her bench. Allen Robinson and A.J. Brown had amazing games. Respectively. Allen Robinson going against Green Bay, that was pretty big for him. Allen Robinson actually will become a free agent after the season, and I really want Colts to get him, personally. But A.J. Brown also, amazing game. He had that one really long catch where he flew past the Indianapolis secondary.
And he also had like an onside recovery for a touchdown too. Yeah. You don't see that too often. All for Kenyon Drake, Allen Robinson, and A.J. Brown both had all three had 2 touchdowns and a lot of yards. Mm-hmm. But her players that she did put in didn't do as well, except for Nick Chubb. He did amazing. And
Nick Chubb has been having a great return.
Yes. And Marquise Brown as well, that 70-yard reception for a touchdown. But Julio Jones didn't play. He got 0 points. Browns got -1 point. And Cam Newton just didn't do well at all. And Devontae Adams did Devontae Adams things.
Yeah.
So, you want to move on to yours?
Yeah, we can move on to mine. I failed really bad. It was it was bad. So, from Kyler Murray's standpoint, I don't know what happened with him, but I guess in the end zone, they just rushed it. He couldn't get any passes off deep for the end zone or anything like that against the New England secondary. But they, managed to get all the way to the end zone and just rush it in using Kenyon Drake. That's why he did so well. And he had an interception, no touchdowns. 23 for 34, 170 yards. He rushed a little bit, but not enough to really make that big of a difference. Yeah, just not a good performance from Kyler Murray. Couldn't even get the win. Josh Jacobs only rushed 7 times against their game against Atlanta because they're playing catch up. Atlanta 43-6. That was the final score. Insane. He did receive a little though. Chris Carson got a touchdown, but he didn't do too much else besides that. Dallas Goedert actually did good. He got a touchdown and 7 catches.
This is his second straight game where he did really well because previously he got 18 points and then he got like the similar stats, a touchdown.
Yeah, so Keenan Allen, average. Stephon Diggs, below average. Calvin Ridley, about average. Yeah, and that, none of that's enough. The worst part of my whole fucking game was -5 points from Colts defense. It was between that and the Steelers defense, and I didn't know if the game would actually happen. And so if I put in the Steelers defense and it got canceled, I was just like, well, that's 0 points. Surely Colts defense won't get below 0, right? I at least want some points. But lo and behold, Colts freaking only got 1 sack and allowed 45 points. And then Steelers got 3 sacks, a fumble recovery, an interception, and one somewhere along the lines got a touchdown. Only allowed 14 points. All today. This happened today.
Yeah, if you would have played your bench, you would have won.
Oh, I mean yesterday. Sorry. Yeah. If I played my bench there, yeah, I think so. Yeah, I didn't think like all around I did too bad. Like it was
Yeah.
still I still managed to do better than some of my other like flops in the past. It just came down to like, oh man, if I put in Aaron Rodgers or I put in Steelers defense. Kicker did well. Young Hoku has had an amazing rookie season. Fucking man, I want to see his overall stats. 16 for 16 from the 1 to 39 yards. Only missed 1 out of 8 from 40 to 49 and has made 6 of 6 50 plus. And then on extra points is 22 out of 25.
Yeah.
Just
He's
really
doing really amazing. But it's not his rookie year. It's like his third or fourth year.
Wait, isn't his rookie year?
Yeah, he got cut from the Chargers and then he got cut from the Falcons a couple of times, and then he was famous for last year when he got kicked 2 onside in one game and both recovered. He was that kicker.
Oh. See,
Yeah.
for some reason, I think I'm just getting him confused with Blankenship, my other rookie kicker.
Yeah.
That's all it was meant. But, I'm a young guy regardless. Anyways, Sophia's side, she didn't do that great either. Josh Allen, a fumble, an interception. He did get a rushing and passing touchdown though, which there's like some statistic where he's the only one to do that in consecutive. How many consecutive games? I don't know. Oh no, he leads the league in getting a passing and rushing touchdown in the same game. He's done that in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games, I believe.
That's a lot of games.
Yeah.
Do you know how many Kyler Murray has?
I do not know.
Because I'm sure he's up there with him because he's had
Probably.
a crap ton of rushing touchdowns.
Oh, I think he has way more actually. I don't remember what the statistic was, but they were just like Josh Allen got that rushing touchdown,
Yeah.
and people are saying that it was a big deal. I don't know. Justin Jefferson had a great game because Adam Thielen was out, which I thought would work in my favor more because she's been putting Adam Thielen in a lot and he's been doing well, but then Justin Jefferson just popped off in replacement. Will Fuller as well. That was the big highlight from her. And then everyone else did bad. Dalvin Cook didn't do well. Fumbled, actually.
Dalvin Cook is also in a little rut as well.
Yeah, but Will Fuller because of performing-enhancing and drugs.
So, yeah, he's out for 6 games. But the Rams...
Colts won't have to deal with him.
I was just going to say Rams defense
did good too, yeah.
But that was against the 49ers.
Oh, it was like crazy. 2 sacks, 2 fumble recoveries, and an interception, and they still lost.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I guess this is a divisional game, so it's not like as shocking as it would if it was out of division. But because the 49ers have been struggling this year because of injuries, but against like a high-powered offense with the Rams. But let's move on to Compton Crib Drip first. The Diabetic Nation.
Yeah, this is his 8th win. Him and Sophia's Esposito Fries, who I played against, are now at 8-4.
Luckily, Trey lost, so I think this sealed the deal for me getting into the playoffs, which I was getting really nervous too. I still had more points than Trey nonetheless. If I would have lost and he would have won, that would have put me in a really tight position to actually get into the playoffs. But
yeah, as of right now, in the last week of regular season, Trey would have to win, you would have to lose, and Trey would have to get 100 more points than you in that week.
Not impossible, but very, very unlikely.
Yeah.
But Trey sitting at 5-7, and I'm sitting at 6-6.
Brendan really Mark Andrews was out and he didn't replace him, so he actually had a whole empty space. He played Alvin Kamara, who just wasn't used at all because Taysom Hill has been doing all the rushing touchdowns.
And he still got 143 points
Because of Tyreek Hill.
Yep. Only reason why. I think he's got the most fantasy points within this year by far. Not by far because Tyler Lockett had a 53-point game. I mean, this is just in our league. It may be different, but Tyreek Hill...
Yeah, because of the point per reception.
Yeah.
13 catches for 269 yards, 3 touchdowns off of 15 targets.
That's crazy.
Just keep feeding him.
And most of that was in the first quarter. He had 2 touchdowns. I don't know. I think it was 7 or 8 receptions maybe in the first quarter and 203 yards. He was 2 yards away from breaking the most receiving yards within a singular quarter. The previous record is 205, and he got 203. I just remember seeing that statistic at the bottom. So he was only a couple yards away. But I forget who made that record. But it was in 2006, and I think it was a Charger guy.
Tom Brady nearly was just going to have a complete flop, but came back against Kansas City to make it a 3-point game. And so he ended up with 345 yards and 3 touchdowns. 2 interceptions, sure, but regardless, like, that was a pretty, like, seeing how Casey was dominating through like the first half, it was pretty impressive to see Tom Brady be able to make somewhat of a comeback.
Yep.
Against the reigning champion of the league. So.
And another player for him that popped off is James Robinson.
Oh yeah, he's been doing really well.
He got 128 rushing yards, a touchdown, 5 receptions, and 31 receiving yards. And I noticed that even if he traded Mark Andrews or swapped Mark Andrews with this other tight end, Jared Cook also got 0 points, so he would have had 0
points. 2 targets, no catches.
Yeah, so I thought I was struggling with tight ends, but Brendan's struggling way more.
You have Kelsey now. You can't complain anymore.
Well, I meant before that. That's why I traded for Kelsey. But on Trey's side actually did decent for him. Derrick Henry just went absolutely off, which surprised the hell out of me because it was against the Colts defense.
Yeah, Trey would have beat me. Wait, who'd you say?
Derrick Henry.
Oh, yeah, Derrick Henry. Yes, against a very, injured Colts defense.
Yeah.
A lot of people out, mainly to force Buckner, who on that front line is just it's just such a huge deal for swallowing him up. But Derrick Henry just moved right past this. So 178 yards off of 27 carries. I just kept feeding him.
And 3 touchdowns.
So at one point, because after his third, maybe only a second touchdown, they're at the goal line. And Ryan Tannehill just faked the handoff to him and just literally almost he could have just walked into the end zone because all our defense was just trying to keep Derrick Henry, back. They didn't have the answer with all of our missing pieces. So Patrick Mahomes did really well as well.
Yep, 31 points in our league. That was expected.
Discussed that. Juju Smith-Schuster yesterday did good. Everyone else, meh. DeAndre Hopkins, meh. Mainly because Kyler Murray wasn't doing well. I don't think I would blame DeAndre Hopkins at any point.
I think Trey's solely losing because he's playing Broncos players.
Yeah, everyone else did so bad, and guess who they were? Fucking Broncos players.
Yeah.
Melvin Gordon, Noah Fant, Jerry Jeudy.
And
all couldn't even muster 10 points combined. And
looking on the Saints defense is probably the best defense, I think, fantasy-wise, the last 4 weeks at least. Maybe not entirely, but at least the last 4 weeks.
They've been really good.
Because against Tampa Bay, they got 16 points. Mm-hmm. Against the 49ers, they got 15. Then 17 against Atlanta, and then 14. So all above 10 or all above 14 points, which is really good for defenses. And that's shocking.
They've had 10 interceptions in the last 5 games.
That's crazy. So the Saints defense is just absolutely stepping up. I mean, the competition that they're playing is not really that good because they did just play Denver without any quarterbacks.
I can kind of understand, though, why he would put Broncos defense over Saints defense. In this week alone, I know he's just been doing it regardless, but in this week, I would never put the other team's defense that is about to play my favorite team.
That is true, yeah.
Once Steelers have to play Colts, I'm going to put in Colts defense.
Yeah.
Regardless of who's out, who's in.
Yeah. But still, he had other players that he could have swapped at least. Gronk went off. He got 16 points. Gallup did decent. He got 10 points, but there's just other things. But let's go to the predictions of the games of last week.
We only had 2 disputes, and I lost both just because why not, I guess. So the big losers from this past week were Detroit and Dallas. Both lost on their own Thanksgiving games. Both of them do it annually at home, and they both lost. 41 points they led up to their opposition.
It's always a good thing. It's always a good feeling eating turkey on Thanksgiving Day and watching the Cowboys lose. It's almost a tradition. now just watching the Cowboys get steamrolled every single week
As for
or every single Thanksgiving.
as
day.
for my family who actually live in Detroit,
Yeah.
it's the worst because every Thanksgiving they just do so bad.
Yeah.
Well, at least of recent history, they've been really bad.
I really like the Lions. I wanted them to win.
Right, man.
But
Will Fuller went off, and then there was no late night Thanksgiving game because that ended up getting postponed. 6 days later, Wednesday afternoon, Pittsburgh played Baltimore, who did not have Lamar Jackson, and it was a close game somehow.
Okay, one, I kind of feel bad for the Steelers because like that's the second time that the opposing team made them like either forced a bye on them and or delayed it this long.
Yeah.
But two, I still hate the Steelers solely because of their fans. Like this, I would like the Steelers if it wasn't for their annoying ass fans.
Yeah.
And just being like and living in Pennsylvania, it's just like the rivalry between the Steelers and the Eagles. A little bit, it's not much because they only play every 4 years. Steelers suck.
Yeah.
Like their record's not, or they're not as good as their record. They're just playing crappy teams and like game in and game out, and they're like coming close to losing them each time.
Damn. He said it, not me. Anyways, there was a huge comeback that neither of us could predict, and that was the dominant performance Atlanta had against Las Vegas. 43-6. What happened, Las Vegas? I don't understand. Like, sometimes they have amazing offensive outings, and sometimes they have amazing defensive outings, but they're never consistent enough.
Yeah. I'm mad at them because they beat the Chiefs. So they
ruined the Chiefs' perfect season.
Yeah. Like, why couldn't you just, like, Chiefs are going to beat the Steelers, but, like, why can't you just, like, beat the Atlanta Falcons and then, like, lose to the Chiefs? But, like, how do you, like, come off of beating the Chiefs, giving them, like,
and going close with the Chiefs the second time they played
Yeah.
as well. They went very close, and then they just completely got steamrolled by Matt Ryan to Calvin Ridley and Julio Jones.
Makes no sense.
I don't know. I guess Atlanta defense has just been really good. Like, apparently, I'm pretty sure one of their linebackers, I forget his name, he got Defensive Player of the Week, NFC Defensive Player of the Week. And just to, like, if someone were to tell me that, like, earlier this season when they couldn't even close a game and they're all high-scoring games, I just wouldn't believe it. That any person on that defense could be named Defensive Player of the Week, you know?
Yeah, their defense is definitely making a step up the past couple weeks. But if they just would have had that defense early in the season, they would have a lot better record than they do now.
Mm-hmm.
But
people said they were playoff bound, like they could be a wild card, even in their tough division. But they don't really have a chance to do that anymore. But at least they're setting themselves up for, you know, more optimism going into next season.
Yep. And
going into the off season as well, like that's important too.
But then you got the Buffalo Bills versus LA Chargers.
Yeah, 27-17, only a 10-point game. I tried to predict an upset there with the Chargers just because, you know, they finally were able to close the game against the Jets. And I was like, hey, why not? Maybe they just start a little streak here. Justin Herbert to Keenan Allen, and Eckler came back as well. What's his name? Joey Bosa?
Bosa? Yeah.
Yeah, he's on Chargers. He's been doing great. I think he's up there in like sacks or quarterback pressures or something like that, like stuff like that. But you know, Josh Allen equally as impressive as any of those players. Just did really well.
And then you got the
Buffalo defense in general, just as a unit, really.
Yeah.
Good.
I don't got too much to say about that game, but then you got the Giants versus the Bengals.
Yeah, Giants only barely edged it out, and Cincinnati didn't even have freaking. Why am I freaking Joey Burrow? Burrow. They didn't have him.
I thought
2-point game.
2-point game. I thought the Giants would steamroll them, to be honest.
Yeah, Giants have been looking more impressive recently.
I project that they're going to win the division.
Yeah, it could still be Washington, I think. Alex Smith has been pretty consistent. And, you know, Gibson, McLaurin, like they have weapons. They do. And their defensive line is scary as hell.
Yep.
So, when does Giants play Washington next? Have they already played twice?
I don't think they've played twice, but I forget when the next game the next time comes.
It'll be an interesting one.
Yeah. They might have already played twice.
Yeah, they did. I thought so.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure the Giants beat them both times.
Yeah.
Which, like, I don't know. I feel like Washington should have at least gotten one of them. But
Yeah.
Giants have an upcoming schedule that is really hard as well. You got freaking Seahawks, Cardinals, Browns, Ravens.
Yeah.
And then they ended with the Cowboys. That might be an easy one there. But still, those 4 are not going to be easy.
That's like kind of similar to the Eagles schedule.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's going to be it's going to be the worst, like absolutely worst like record it could possibly be to get
Washington,
into the division.
they play Steelers and
49ers.
that's possible, but I don't know. I don't think they will get it. 49ers is still possible. 49ers just got Richard Sherman back, but I mean, they haven't been amazing. They just got a win off Rams, which I was going to talk about. And then Panthers are definitely exposable. Like, they've been way inconsistent. And then end on Eagles.
Yeah, that's
that could happen.
Yeah. Well, they beat us the first game, so.
That's true. Oh, you start and end with the
Yep.
same divisional matchup, same as Colts. We start and end with Jacksonville. Hopefully, Colts can actually turn that around.
Yep.
But, anyways, a bit off track. Colts lost to Tennessee. I blame it on a lot of injuries, but at the same time, our general manager, Chris Ballard, has always tried to make depth a focus, and it just didn't show up against that offense from Titans. You know, Tannehill, I don't get the hype around Tannehill necessarily, but he's got the people to make it happen. Like, his front line really good, A.J. Brown and Johnny Smith and Derrick Henry, of course.
I was a fan of Tannehill when he was at the Dolphins, and I'm still kind of a fan of Tannehill now.
Well,
I don't know why everyone's getting or hated on
I just
him.
don't think he's worth the hype.
Well, yeah, I agree. Like, I don't think he's like freaking the new like Tom Brady, but like I feel like he's decent, and I think he's a little bit above average. But like I also agree, like he doesn't deserve all the hype that he's getting.
And Titans defense did come in pretty clutch, especially their return team on that onside kick, of course, with A.J. Brown.
That was crazy. That was the first time I've seen a return
Off of an onside kick.
Yeah. I mean, I've
Yeah.
seen like highlights in the past, but like it's very rare to happen.
Yeah, that was when the game was absolutely over because, you know, we had an amazing drive before that onside kick where it was like, oh, we're, you know, things are coming into place on our, you know, kind of broken offense. Jonathan Taylor was out. Costanzo, one of our main people on our offensive line, was out. We were struggling for sure, and, you know, we still managed to put up 26 considering that.
Yep. Before we get to the Panthers Vikings, I'm just going to need to stop the recording because it's almost done. I just want to start something.
Yeah. Minnesota against Carolina. This was a close game. Minnesota was coming in 4-6, Carolina 4-7. Carolina had the edge most of the game. You know, defense was managing to keep Dalvin Cook to very low numbers, definitely. They couldn't do that with their secondary, unfortunately. Carolina was rolling for a bit, and then Minnesota just last second managed to come back.
I wasn't really watching the game, but I was kind of keeping an eye on it because I knew that it was one of the ones that we disagreed on.
Yeah, I thought Carolina would win, and you said Minnesota, and you were right last second. Arizona, another upset. Arizona lost to New England. All of a sudden, Cam Newton came in a little clutch.
I feel like this was a trap game. I think this is one of the most surprising upsets of the year so far.
Yeah, because Arizona now at 6-5, like there's a lot of hype around Arizona, you know, especially in their tough division, like managing to get good wins, and their offense is scary. DeAndre Hopkins, their win against the Bills got a lot of hype as well because they managed to make that a shootout. Yeah. When, you know, not a lot of people, you know, say that they have like all the pieces in place, whereas Bills is a pretty complete team. Arizona is like, they have some really good star players and like Patrick Peterson, Budda Baker, DeAndre Hopkins, Kyler Murray, but everything else is kind of like, you know, average, right?
They need a running back.
Yeah, they gave it to Texans.
Yeah. But Miami versus the Jets, that's an obvious one. Probably don't really need to go over that
Jets
one that much.
Only put up 3. Miami not going with Tua. Tua was out with like a thumb injury or something.
The New York Jets always give me like a little bit of hope because they always find a way to score first. So I'm like,
That's true. They always score first.
I'm like, oh my gosh, this could like actually be it. But
everyone like holds their breath for a second.
yeah, but then like I realized that they're Jets and they're just gonna get steamrolled in a couple of seconds.
Cleveland only managed to make it a 2-point game, 27-25. They still got the win against Jacksonville, who has only gotten one win, and it was week 1 against the Colts. And it's just like Cleveland is now 8-3. Other teams that are 8-3 are Titans.
I have no idea.
Seahawks.
Yep.
And let me search it up. But you see where I'm headed. Like, these are teams that we could easily see making it to, like, conference championship. But Cleveland's making it that close against the fucking Jaguars. It's unbelievable.
I was watching that game. I only watched the first half, but like
I'm pretty sure Green Bay is. Yeah, 8-3. Green Bay.
Seahawks is 8-3 like we said previously. Green Bay is 8-3.
Yeah.
Buffalo's 8-3.
Bills was the other one I missed. Yeah.
Titans 8-3.
Yeah.
And then that's it.
Yeah.
But
the only one I was missing was Buffalo. Yeah, Browns is not anywhere near the level. I don't even think they're anywhere near like the now 7-4 teams like Colts. Even though they got the win against the Colts, I will say that's probably their only good win. Who else is now going in 7-4? Rams. I don't think they're on the Rams level.
Tampa Bay Bucks. They're 7-5. They're not 7-4. I don't see the Browns beating them anytime soon. I don't see the Browns beating the Dolphins. I don't know if they played or not. It's probably gonna backfire on me, and they probably like beat them or something. But I was watching that game, and let me just say, Baker Mayfield is like garbage. He's like absolute ass. Like there's like multiple throws where he's overthrown it, and he just overthrows so many like wide receivers. The team would be like a lot better than what they are if they didn't have Baker Mayfield. There was this one play that he had a wide open. There was literally no one around for like 5-10 yards around this one guy, and he was just sitting in the end zone, and he overthrows him. Like he had enough time in the pocket, and he just like airballs it. And
there are fans that have been saying that they consider Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb their quarterbacks.
Yeah, they're probably 100% better than them. I wouldn't doubt that.
Great rushing duo.
Yeah.
And the defense obviously with Myles Garrett, like amazing as well.
I think they're a complete team for the most part, except for Baker Mayfield is weighing them so much.
I think defense could definitely be better still because I mean, yeah, Mayfield didn't put up points, but 27 is not bad. Yeah. And then Jacksonville managed to get 25, and like Baker Mayfield has nothing to do with that.
That is true. Yeah.
I think defense could definitely be better besides Myles Garrett.
And they also let up a lot of points against the Cowboys too. The running backs are definitely, that duo that they have is definitely carrying that offense a lot more than what is being shown.
Yeah, so New Orleans, yeah, like we said, they fucking destroyed Denver. Like, both not with their starting quarterback, Taysom Hill, starting for New Orleans, and a wide receiver who some of the organization didn't even know about off practice squad started for Denver. Yep. And, you know, everyone's been giving him, like, props for, like, you know, coming in last second and being able to make those completions and whatever, but it wasn't going to win them the game whatsoever. Like, they could only manage a field goal, so...
I was watching one talk show on NFL. I think it was like Good Morning
Football.
Yeah, Good Morning Football. And one of them was talking about the Broncos. They were like, the Broncos tried to get their coach to start at QB, one of their like quarterback coach or whatever, and they like asked the NFL like, can we do this? Can we like he knows the play, he knows the like the inside and out of the playbook. And then
wow, that's crazy.
And he also played quarterback in college, like all 4 years. Like he actually played football, so it's not like he's just like a coach that hasn't played. And then NFL was like, nope, you can't do that. And so a couple days later, the story told us.
Like a day later, really.
Yeah, receiver starts.
Yeah, that's insane. People immediately tried to look and see if they could start him for fantasy as wide receiver, but like I think ESPN and everyone else made sure that they changed it to QB before that game started. You know,
it was funny. The one when Taysom Hill started his first game like with the Saints, he was listed as a tight end. Like his first game that he started, like no one fixed it. It was like in fantasy too. or I mean, in FanDuel and in ESPN, because I was looking, I was like, wait a second, what do they have them listed as? Because like you could list him as a tight end and still like have quarterback stats, and like they were listing him as a tight end, and I was like,
That's
oh,
funny.
but then they switched it and fixed it
Yeah,
to a
yeah.
QB now. But
So it's made every other organization reconsider the fact that they may not have a backup, you know, and stuff like that. So organizations have been looking into it, and like of the organizations that have already had a plan, one of them was Bills. Jake Fromm from Georgia, he is completely doing his own practice regimen separate from everyone else to make sure that he could be the backup on any given day. Colts have a backup as well, but they're being hush hush about it. They're not really saying who, but they have a pretty intricate plan for how that would work in case none of their three, which is Philip Rivers, Jacoby Brissett, and Jacob Eason, if any of them couldn't play any given day.
I don't know what the Eagles are doing with that. Well, I mean, obviously their backup is Jalen Hurts and Nate Sunfield, but I don't know how they're preparing if all of them get hurt or
exactly.
COVID.
It's made organization have to reconsider.
Yeah.
You know? Everything is different now. Rams lost to San Francisco. We both got that wrong. We thought Rams would win.
That was a little.
It was still
upset.
a 3-point game, you know. But Jared Goff just has to be better if they want to make this a Super Bowl team again.
We already talked about it in the beginning, so not much to say. Other than it was a little bit of an upset. Chiefs versus Tampa.
Who's? Wait, Richard Sherman is back first.
Oh wait, yeah.
Yeah, that's a big deal. They might be able to, you know, make this playoff run once they get Garoppolo back and Kittle. You know, they'll end games with a bunch of wins. If they can just hold it out from here until they can get them back, maybe they have a chance.
They're in the hunt too.
Chiefs. We talked about that. We don't really need to get more into that.
With the Tyreek and everything.
Yeah, we both predicted Chiefs though. Green Bay, we both predicted 41-25 against the Bears. Bears now like 5 straight losses.
They're with the 49ers. So they're still in a hunt. They're 5-7.
They're 5-6.
5-6.
Yeah, they start out 5-1. They're now 5-6.
Oh, okay.
Which is like wow.
That's crazy.
They started Trubisky, who I don't really know how to judge him. He's like I can't really say he's been doing better than Foles. Like obviously he won a lot of those games from early on, but still, I wouldn't say like he's gonna help him win going forward.
Both are still doing pretty bad. Not gonna lie. But Seahawks versus the Eagles. I did a whole video on this, and you guys mostly know my opinion on this.
Yeah, I don't really have any more opinions on that. It's just like it's sad.
Yeah, I feel bad for Carson Wentz, cause it's just I said it in the last video, but there's a lot of pressure, and I feel like he would strive in a lot more places than where he is now, and a lot of. I didn't say this in the previous video, but I just wanted to quickly say this. But like a lot of players are saying that it's like a shitty place to play, and then like the environment's like shitty because Deontay Swift, one of our defensive ends, he was like, he grew up as an Eagles fan, like he was a diehard Eagles fan and stuff, and just to be playing with like as an Eagle, it's like a dream come true. But they cut him, and he was just like, yeah, the environment was like bad and stuff, and it was just like not a good place to play, which is like. As a fan, that's like really like hard to hear because it's like you want to be known as a good environment where people want to play.
The fans are definitely tough on the Eagles, I would say.
Yeah.
Overall, I guess we talked about Pittsburgh against Baltimore. Pittsburgh didn't do good against Baltimore. Mike Tomlin said it was like a JV team.
I guess we can move on to this coming week.
In fantasy, so it's the final weeks.
We can start off with you.
Yeah, that's where it automatically took me anyways. So I have a bunch of players questionable, so I don't really know what my lineup is going to end up looking like. But I'll have a lot of really tough matchups. The only good matchups I can look at are like Josh Jacobs against the Jets and Jonathan Taylor against Houston, I would say. Colts defense against Houston, now that Will Fuller's out, probably would definitely be good. Trey's side, I still think he has a chance. I mean, it's fucking Derrick Henry. You know, people are saying he might even be the MVP talk. And then the other MVP like leader, I would say, is Patrick Mahomes going against Denver. That's a great matchup for him. And he has all his Denver players, against KC lined up. Maybe he'll reconsider that. But still, he has DeAndre Hopkins and Juju Smith-Schuster. Like he could still.
He has like 3 of the best players in the league, or like one of the best players in the leagues. Like what you said.
I think he has the 2 offensive player of the year front runners, which is DeAndre Hopkins and Derrick Henry, and then the MVP front runner, which is Patrick Mahomes.
Which is
and
crazy.
Then everyone else is just like, eh.
Juju Smith-Schuster has been becoming more consistent the past few weeks, but early in the season he's been doing like crap. He hasn't been like getting a bunch of catches because of Claypool. Claypool had got more
and
of
Deontay Johnson as well.
Yeah.
And Deontay Johnson made his way to like being the leading receiver in like targets and all that.
Yeah. So I think the sole reason why Trey has lost so many, especially early on, is because of his Denver players. And him being a fan of the Denver Broncos is his entire downfall. And I will stand by that because like he could have won so many games if he wouldn't have started Denver players.
He's drafting so many Denver players. It was like Melvin Gordon's going to pop off.
Yeah.
Denver defense is going to pop off. And then Gordon was out for a while. And Denver defense lost Von Miller. It's just like...
Yeah. We were making fun of him last week that he could start 5 Denver players, but now he's actually starting 5 Denver players. He's starting all 5 of the Denver players that he has. I mean, like the Denver players that he has are good. Well, not even good, but I mean like
they're good.
Decent.
Decent. Within the this season, they're not. I mean, they've been without their starting quarterback, stuff like that. It's just like everything's kind of falling apart for their season. Like no real hope. They just kind of have to hope to rebuild for next season.
Yeah, but like none of them are worthy starting every single week in and week out. No. They might be.
I feel like maybe Brandon McManus, sure.
Yeah.
Broncos defense every now and then. Why not? Noah Fant, I don't see why not put him as tight end. But then Melvin Gordon and Jerry Jeudy,
Well, I mean, like Jerry Jeudy and Melvin Gordon have like a couple, maybe 2 or 3 really good
way
games.
Too inconsistent.
But like it's kind of the play where you just play in flex, and it's just you kind of have to judge by the week, but it's definitely not every single week. Let's talk about your side.
I did. I talked
about
my side. Yeah, I was like Colts defense, Jonathan Taylor.
Okay. Well, I mean, I didn't know if you wanted to talk more about your side at all.
There's not much to say there. There's just a bunch of tough matchups, as I was saying, and like everyone's questionable, so it's kind of hard to say who I'm going to put in yet. So. Not much else to say there. Yeah, I mean, Trey could still pull off the win is all I'm saying, just based off of matchups alone.
Yeah.
So Sophia's Esposito Fries is looking like the definite winner over Licia.
She's 62% chance of winning, and all of the players are going to play for Licia.
Yeah, so I think it's like Browns defense going against Tennessee that I feel like she should probably change that. Bills defense against San Francisco, I'd be more confident about. She's got like Marquise Brown, Cam Newton.
Wait.
Oh, sorry. I think I did that.
There we go.
Yeah, we're back. Okay.
Where did we stop off at, dude? Or
I think it just happened. I just like tapped it.
Okay.
Yeah. So Devontae Adams, Nick Chubb, and Hunter Henry, Julio Jones, sure. Those are like Licia star players, but like I don't even think, other than Devontae Adams, I don't think they're like guaranteed to get high numbers as much as Sophia's players are. Like Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, Cooper Kupp, Darren Waller, Austin Eckler. Maybe it depends on how. Like last week it wasn't as good, but maybe this week it will be.
But like her bench is really good. She needs to replace some of her players with the bench that she has, because I'm looking at Allen Robinson's stats, and his stats have been super good the past like few weeks.
Who?
Allen Robinson.
Oh yeah, Licia's bench definitely could do better. Like Allen Robinson, AJ Brown, I would put them over Marquise Brown and Julio Jones at this point.
Yeah, and then did you say AJ Brown too, or?
Yeah, AJ Brown.
Yeah, okay. And yeah, like AJ.
I would put AJ Brown and Allen Robinson over Julio Jones and Marquise Brown.
And then even Kanye Drake too. He's been having.
Kenyon Drake over Nick Chubb. No, man, I don't know about Nick Chubb. Maybe Chase Edmonds.
Yeah,
I feel like, man, like they're both Arizona though. Like they kind of just alternate.
Yeah, it's kind of tough though. But
She has both of them.
like you said, just like Sophia's team is much better, and this should be an easy win for
overall,
Sophia.
she might as well just remove Will Fuller because he's not gonna play for this season unless she wants to keep him next season.
I think Alicia should just pick up any quarterback off of waivers because she can literally pick up any quarterback, and they would be a lot better.
Rivers.
Yeah, a lot better than what Cam Newton is doing right now.
Philip Rivers is the best available. Oh, Ben Roethlisberger, I guess.
Ryan Tannehill too.
No.
He has refused to give him any credit.
If Tua plays, then maybe.
But yeah, there's just like so many a lot better quarterbacks than what she has now. Even Carson Wentz, I would say, is better than Cam Newton. And
Jared Goff.
Yeah, like literally any quarterback is going to be better than how Cam Newton
Baker
hasn't
Mayfield.
played. Yeah.
Kirk Cousins.
Anybody.
Jacksonville, actually.
I would take anybody over Cam Newton at this point.
At this point.
But let's go.
Jalen Hurts.
Even he doesn't play that much.
Joking.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then your game. Walk me through it. Are you confident?
Nope.
Tom Brady has a bye, so he's forced to put in Wait,
he doesn't have.
He
doesn't have any quarterbacks.
Yeah,
we have to tell him.
We're gonna tell him.
Yeah, we have to tell him that. But
so, Brendan has to get a quarterback. He can put Drew Brees on IR and then have 2 free bench spaces.
Yeah. That's ridiculous. If Brendan wins, and he doesn't even like pay attention to football at all.
Yeah, Mike Evans also has a bye as well, so you can put him in. But Tyreek Hill, Terry McLaurin, he's covered. Yeah, he's so stacked, man.
Yeah, he's 8-4.
I think quarterback might be his only like weakness, but
Even
even
then,
Tom Brady can like pop
off
off every now and then. Well, defense as well, I would say, is not good. Ravens defense and Eagles defense has not been doing well.
But yeah, I just zoned out. But I don't feel confident.
Really?
Yeah, because it's like against Brendan. Even though I beat Brendan earlier in the season, I still don't feel confident. It says that I have a 59% chance to win, but that's because, well, like we said, Tom Brady has a bye, and he has him in. But I think Russell Wilson will beat anybody that he puts in because he's playing against the Giants, and he has to bounce back eventually. I have Miles Sanders. I don't know if I'm going to put him in or not because...
Who would you alternatively put? Kareem Hunt?
Yeah. Or maybe James Conner. Or he's out. I don't... They said that's like game to game. Or that's up in the air. But he's on the COVID reserve list, so I'll probably switch out Connor for Sanders. But I'm keeping Gibson in. I feel confident in him, and I feel confident in Metcalf. But I'm going to probably switch Travis Fulgham with like Cooper, because that air attack is just not there. I feel confident in Kelsey, and Thomas, and the defense, Miami defense, because they're playing Cincinnati. I'm probably not going to do any switching up. It doesn't look like I'm going to do any switching up except for maybe Travis Fulgham, like I said. I just don't feel confident. The only way I feel confident is with my tight end. I just feel like I have way better tight ends.
Yeah.
Do you want to go predicting?
Let's go predicting. So this is how we do it. I make my predictions before we record. I black them out. So Caleb has to, predict his first, so he's not, swayed. Neither of us are swayed by each other's opinions of how the game are going to go down, depending on who says it first. Mine are locked in. Caleb, let's go for it. So we have New Orleans playing at Atlanta. New Orleans is 9-2. Atlanta's 4-7.
I'm going to say the Saints.
Yeah.
And then there's no Thursday night games or Friday or Saturday night games.
Yeah.
Because of the freaking Steelers game messing it all up. I just have to state that. And that's why this episode is going to be released tomorrow on Friday rather than normal.
Whenever you see it, basically.
Yeah. Whenever you see it, but normally it's Thursday morning, early Thursday morning. We just wanted to wait until the Steelers game was over. But I think the Saints for obvious reasons.
Yeah, I say Atlanta.
Really? Dang.
Yeah, so my reasoning is New Orleans defense has been really good, right? But all of a sudden Atlanta's starting to get rolling. Like their defense is, matching some of the other teams.
Yeah.
And their offense is obviously like supreme, right?
Yep.
New Orleans is with Taysom Hill. They don't have Drew Brees. And I just feel like comparatively, it's just not going to be as much as a powerhouse to deal with. Taysom Hill, like Michael Thomas and Alvin Kamara. I don't think they're all like on the same wavelength necessarily. It seems like Taysom Hill has just kind of done things his way.
Yeah.
And I think it just feels exposable. So there's upset potential there. And, if New Orleans end up going 10-2, even without Drew Brees for this later part, that's just, surprising. Like, hey, maybe they're a Super Bowl team after all.
This is smelling a little bit similar to last year because Drew Brees got hurt for like 5 games, and the 5 games that he was hurt, Teddy Bridgewater came in and won 5 straight games with the Saints.
Mm.
So it's kind of looking a little bit similar to that, or to last year,
Right.
because now Taysom Hill is 2-0 and has the potential, and it's a division rival, to go 3-0. So it's looking really similar to how last year went. They're probably going to lose to the Vikings in the playoffs again. Who knows?
Wait, they played against Denver, and that's not a great team. And then they played against Atlanta, right? Atlanta got destroyed. Well, maybe not destroyed, but they just, clearly got the better of them. I don't think that's going to happen twice.
Yeah.
I think it'll at least be close. Anyways.
Lions, Bears, I say the Lions. A little upset.
Yeah, I also put the Lions. I feel like Chicago's just kind of fumbling. Detroit, they have some pieces where they need them. It's just kind of organizationally. They're kind of messing up, but hey, same thing kind of in Chicago, so might as well, right?
Yep. That's my same reasoning too.
Yeah, so the 8-3 matchup that will majority be nationally televised in the early morning, 1 p.m. I think most eyes in America will probably be looking at this game.
Browns-Titans.
Browns really need to get another win to really solidify themselves as being that team, worthy of their record, as they say. And then the Titans, who I think have definitely proven that they are worthy of their record with, all of those things going on there. It's interesting to see. Who you got?
I got the Titans.
I also got the Titans.
Well, I know how the past, like, 2 or not even, like, maybe the past few weeks I've been, like, bashing on the Browns, but I would never expect that you would pick a division rival, especially against the Browns. Well,
I feel like at this point, I want Tennessee to keep doing well.
Mm-hmm.
In the regular season, just so Colts can face them in the playoffs, and then it'll be like a best of 3 thing. Like when Colts won the first game, Tennessee won the second.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see who wins the third.
Yeah.
Once everyone hopefully is healthy.
Yep.
Hopefully, ideally, everyone will be healthy by the playoffs. And so Cleveland's getting in the way of Colts being able to get the wild card berth if Tennessee keeps succeeding, right? So I don't want Cleveland to win.
Yeah.
Because I think Tennessee is going to keep succeeding. Even if they lose this game, they're going to keep succeeding beyond that. And so I don't want Cleveland, get in the way of Colts' chances because, we still have a tough stretch. We still have to play Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
Raiders as well. Like, Raiders can mix us up maybe. Who knows? So,
Yep.
That's my reasoning for that. Miami
I got
versus Cincinnati. Miami 7-4. I think Tua might be back. I'm not sure. Cincinnati is 2-8-1 without Joe Burrow.
I say the Dolphins. Just not much explanation on why. Bengals without Joe Burrow, and they're just a depleted team without him.
Yeah. They've got a lot of great receivers, but no offensive line to, make that work anyways.
Yep. And then on to Vikings Jaguars. Again, I had the Vikings winning. Same reasoning.
Yeah, Jaguars are depleted.
Same reasoning for me picking the Dolphins over the Bengals. Just Vikings are a way better team than the Jaguars. So yeah. And then Raiders Jets.
So Raiders put up 6 points to Atlanta. Jets put up 3 points to Miami. And now they're playing against each other.
Come on. Raiders are going to win.
Is this finally the time?
No, it's not. This isn't the time. This is not the time. This is not the time. This is not. Come on. That's the most BS I heard all day.
I was a Vegas,
yeah.
Of course.
Same reasoning as the last 2 ones. The Raiders are just a way better team. Even though Raiders lost to Atlanta, I feel like even more vengeance to beat the living crap out of the Jets. But yeah, it's just an obvious one. Jets are 0-11. They suck.
Washington trying to make it into the playoffs with their biggest opposition before the playoffs is right here. It's the Steelers, 11-0, and Steelers obviously are a flawed giant.
Yeah.
Maybe too big for their britches. Will Washington manage to pull up the upset? What do you think?
I kind of want to say, should I?
Washington's got Antonio Gibson. They got Terry McLaurin. They have Chase Young. Alex Smith is consistent. Ron Rivera has been great coach.
Crap. I want to call this upset. Should I call this upset? Should I do
This
it?
would be the upset of the year. If Pittsburgh's undefeated season comes to an end to Washington 4-7.
I'm not gonna say this is not going to be their loss. Steelers win.
I also say Steelers win, but
I was so
it's
close to
possible,
picking
it's
Washington.
possible.
So close. If Washington wins, I'm gonna be so pissed.
All right, Houston 4-7, playing at home, but without Will Fuller. Houston 4-7, playing at home. Only problem is they're without Will Fuller, one of their linebackers, I think, and that's all I've heard about. Due to performance-enhancing drugs, out for 6 weeks, which means the next ending 5 weeks, and then the game in regular season. The first game of the regular season next year.
I say the Colts.
Yeah, me too. And then the Colts are 7-4. Most of their pieces will be back and healthy. Although there's a lot of minor injuries. We're kind of scrapped up a little. I'm just thankful that we're not playing a better team at this point. I'm glad that Steelers are the second to last week, so we can, rejuvenate with the, we're basically playing Texans in back-to-back games.
Yeah.
Two times in 3 weeks. So
I couldn't say it much better. But then you got the Rams versus Cardinals. Rams 7-4, Cardinals 6-5. I'm going to say the Cardinals win.
Yeah, me too.
Because Rams didn't look too good against the 49ers.
Yeah, neither of them look good in their, I guess, not upsets, but
Yeah.
they got upset, right?
Yeah.
Neither of them looked too good. I just feel like Cardinals is just going to make it interesting. They're going to become 7-5. Rams are going to become 7-5. And, the division is just the reverse cluster fuck compared to NFC East.
Yeah. Yeah.
NFC East is its own, shenanigans, whereas
Yeah.
in the NFC,
Yeah.
what is this, West?
Yeah.
They're the reverse of that.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be really close, but they're all really good. That's how it's going to be. But the other divisional teams, Seahawks 8-3, they're going to be playing the Giants 4-7. Also, similar thing here. Seahawks are been rolling. They've been doing really well, and Giants are still trying to make it into the playoffs. They've been looking a bit better since when they started off the season.
Yep.
People used to say that the two worst teams in football were both the New York teams. And now I wouldn't say so. I would say it's Jacksonville and Jets.
Yep.
And New York is a bit above some of those other really bad teams, right?
Yep.
But where do we think Giants can really beat the Giants? Giants can beat the Seahawks. And what phase? Is it offensively, defensively, special teams? Do we really think that could happen?
I don't think so. Only way is offensively. Do you know if Daniel Jones is coming back, or is it still the backup?
I don't know.
If
But McCoy still seems like a viable option. Okay.
If Daniel Jones is playing, then I'm going to say it's all offense going to beat the Seahawks defense, but the Seahawks defense has been playing
Jamal Adams
lights
back
out recently.
has been working wonders for the Seahawks.
Yeah.
He's actually toward the top of quarterback pressure and stuff like that, and he's only been here for 6 games.
Yeah.
He's already caught up to statistically to some of the other defenders who have been playing all season. So.
Yep. I see the Seahawks are going to win this one.
Yeah, me too. I would say so.
The only way that I see the Giants winning is if they find loopholes against the Seahawks defense with the offense, because the Giants' offense is a lot better than their defense. But let's move on to the Eagles, Packers.
Yeah, you don't want to talk more about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Such a disappointing season.
Also the same. Chargers 4-7, New England 5-6. I feel like, in terms of standings, they're pretty close. You have the young gun Herbert versus the kind of washed up MVP Newton.
I'm gonna say the Chargers.
You're gonna say Chargers?
I'm gonna assume you say Chargers too.
I am. I'm putting Chargers up. I'm not super confident about it, but I'm going to do regardless because I hate New England. So KC 10-1 versus Denver 4-7.
Chiefs. I feel like this is an obvious
They destroyed Denver in their
Yeah.
last meeting. So
Kind of an obvious statement.
yeah, Baltimore 6-5, Dallas 3-8.
I say the Ravens because Cowboys suck. And
Yeah.
fuck the Cowboys. I hate
Wow.
the Cowboys. That's all I got to say.
Okay, mic drop. Okay, and then finally San Francisco versus Buffalo. San Francisco 5-6, trying to break the .500 mark to keep their hopes alive for the playoffs. And Bills are 8-3, trying to, pad the stats for Josh Allen to become maybe an MVP candidate among, just trying to make sure that Dolphins are, not trying to take their freaking divisional championship away from them. So, who you got?
I got the Bills.
You got the Bills. Well, guess what? I got San Francisco,
Ooh,
baby.
finally.
I think this is going to be
Really?
their streak, their lucky streak. Now that Richard Sherman's back, and for some reason their offense did like what they needed to do against a really tough defense.
Yeah.
Rams. Buffalo's is a tough defense. It all comes down to, can San Francisco keep up their tough defense now against one of the best offenses?
Yeah.
And Josh Allen and all of his weapons. There's Cole Beasley and there's Stephon Diggs.
Can I make a switch?
You want to switch? What?
Washington versus Steelers?
You're going Washington?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I'm going Washington, going to beat the Steelers.
There you have it. So there are 3 disputes. Atlanta, New Orleans, Pittsburgh, Washington, San Francisco, Buffalo.
Yep.
That's the show. Wrapped up.
All right.
Thank you for watching.
Bye. Love you guys. See ya. Never. Oh, burn. Gotcha.
That was so bad.
Yeah.